Most cities crumble under a sudden population surge, but in Kołobrzeg, it gets better. What's the secret behind this small city's big mobility success? With just under 50,000 residents and covering an area of about 25 square kilometers, Kołobrzeg punches far above its weight when it comes to urban planning. But it hasn't always been this way. This is the story of how a once destroyed city rebuilt itself, not just with bricks, but with a vision. A human-centered, seasonally adaptive, and environmentally aware city where people come first. Kołobrzeg isn't Warsaw, and it doesn't try to be. It's a medium-sized city on Poland's northwestern coast, famous for its beaches, spa tourism, and a steady stream of summer visitors that can triple its population during peak season. But here is the challenge. How do you design a city for both 50,000 locals and 150,000 tourists? That's the mobility puzzle Kołobrzeg had to solve, and somehow it did. Let's start in the heart of Kołobrzeg, its city center. Unlike many post-war Polish cities that sprawled with car-centric layouts, Kołobrzeg reimagined its core as a space for walkers, bikers, and public life. The city rebuilt its own town with narrow, historic streets designed to discourage car use. Instead of highways, you will find cobblestone promenades, outdoor cafes, and tree-lined boulevards that invite strolling, not speeding. There's even a car-free pedestrian zone stretching from the main train station all the way to the beach, threading together public squares, museums, and green parks like beads on a necklace. Why is that important? Because walkability isn't just a lifestyle choice, it's an equity issue. Young people and the elderly and tourists all benefit from a city where you don't need a car to thrive, and Kołobrzeg delivers exactly that. Now picture this. You rent a car near a lighthouse, ride along the coast through pine forests, past street performers, and 10 minutes later, you're sipping coffee in a historic square. That's Kołobrzeg's cycling network in action. The city boasts more than 45 kilometers of dedicated bike paths, many of them part of regional Eurovelo 10 route, also known as the Baltic Sea Cycle Route. The bike infrastructure is not only functional, but it's scenic and interconnected, taking full advantage of the city's compact form. Kołobrzeg also supports bike-sharing systems, with seasonal adjustments to ensure that there are enough bikes available during the summer influx. And most importantly, the bike lanes actually connect, from neighborhoods to tourist attractions, from hotels to parks, and from rail stations to the beach. Kołobrzeg's urban design is based on a simple but powerful idea. Public space is infrastructure. Parks like Park Stefana Jaromskiego are not just patches of green. They are fully integrated urban corridors with walking paths, cultural movements, and outdoor stages. The waterfront boulevard, complete with modern benches, lighting, and public art, is as much as a mobility corridor as it is a social one. What makes it unique is that Kołobrzeg doesn't separate green space from transport infrastructure. It fused the two. The kind of biophilic design brings nature into the movement of people, and that makes a huge difference, especially in summer. Here's where things get tricky and interesting. Every summer, over 1 million tourists visit Kołobrzeg, causing what could be a total traffic disaster. But instead of building massive roads, Kołobrzeg adapts its mobility system seasonally. Temporary pedestrian streets are expanded in summer. Parking is restricted in certain zones and redirected to periphery lots. Minibuses and tourist trains are introduced during peak hours to reduce congestion. And mobile bike repair stations pop up across the city to keep cyclists rolling. This adaptive approach is what sets Kołobrzeg apart. It's not about pouring concrete, it's about designing for flexibility. Let's be honest, Kołobrzeg doesn't need a metro or tram. What it does need is a small bus system, and that's exactly what it has. KM Kołobrzeg, the city's public transport operator, runs a fleet of modern, low-emission buses with real-time arrival displays and mobile ticketing. Bus routes are aligned to local travel patterns and tourist flows, not outdated grids. They even adjust schedules seasonally, running more frequent services in July and August when the streets swell with tourists. Is it perfect? No, but it's a public transport system that fits the scale and rhythm of the city, and that's often more important than building something grand and underused. What can other small or medium-sized cities learn from Kołobrzeg? First, human-first design wins. Prioritizing walking, biking, and public space creates a city that's enjoyable and equitable. Second, seasonal adaptability matters. Don't overbuild. Adjust instead. Responsive planning makes cities more resilient. And third, nature is infrastructure. Integrating green spaces into transport network boosts quality of life. Kołobrzeg's model doesn't rely on flashy mega projects. It relies on thoughtful planning, clear priorities, and local context, and that's what makes it work. Kołobrzeg isn't just a seaside resort, it's a case study in small urbanism, a place where movement, landscape, and community are all tied together. If you're tired of cities built for cars instead of people, this little city in Poland offers something radically different. A vision of urban life that's healthy, flexible, and deeply human. And for young urbanists, planners, or just curious minds, Kołobrzeg is a reminder that the future of mobility doesn't have to be loud or fast. It can be walkable, bikeable, and beautifully slow.